Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are with Quintessence last, our level 47 Brute, who has 28.5 million XP earned, just over a million to go to get to level 48. And our next set of 3 enhancement slots, 54 million influence, and we are on a story arc for Unai Kemen, who asked me to go talk to Azoria about the fact that these people that we rescued in the last episode have been split in two, and how do we get them back? And she says, I would like to help you, but this is uncharted territory. I suspect that no one on this world knows of a spell that can reunite a person torn apart by a dimensional rupture. I do have an idea, though. I once heard that Portal Corporation had located a dimension filled with peaceful Orenbagans, a pacifist society that never turned into the bloodthirsty Circle of Thorns. Perhaps you can seek them out. Their society was based entirely on magic. I imagine their lore is millennia beyond ours. So now we're going to go into Orenbega and hopefully not fight Circle of Thorns, because we're at +3 and it's going to be really sucky to fight the Circle of Thorns at +3. But we should be able to handle it with no real problem, no matter who it is we're fighting, other than Knives of Artemis. Hopefully we're not fighting Knives. They're going to be a real pain at +3, but we'll do alright. Better than ×2 or something. Okay, so we need to go to Peregrine Island. Let's not try to go the long way. We'll just use our teleporting through Ouroboros. And once we start the mission, we've got some City of Heroes politics to talk about today. Instead of talking D&D and role-playing game theory, we have some nice, juicy City of Heroes political rumors to talk about. Not even rumors, actually, facts. Gossip. Scuttlebutt. But we'll get to our mission first, and then we'll talk. I'd rather, get inside the mission, get ourselves into our, sort of mid-mission stride, and once we've, kind of got things going, we'll start talking about the, sort of, mini politics, I don't know what you want to call it, the sociology of the private servers, and the news that broke today as I'm recording this. This is May 13th, and that is the day the announcement was made. By the time this is posted, I'm trying to do a quick calculation, it'll probably be around the 1st of June, so this will probably be a couple of weeks old, but I think I should comment on it, because we've talked about the issue before on this channel, so we may as well. But first, let's get inside the mission and see who we have to defeat. This is going to be an Orenbega map, I would assume. But I don't know, I don't remember which villains you fight, unless it's Evil Circle of Thorns fighting good. I'm not really sure. We shouldn't be fighting these Orenbagans, but who the heck knows, because sometimes they do put you in these missions where you're supposed to be helping people and you end up having to fight them because, the way the code base works here, they could basically only have you fighting things. So we have to defeat all villains, which means we have to crawl all over the map, so I'm going to zoom it in so we can see every pixel. I'm still not sure who the villains are going to be here. So we'll find out who that is, and then we will talk COH politics. I'm a little weirded out that we haven't met any bad guys yet. Usually there are bunches, especially in these little sort of diamond shapes. Here we go. Oh, Banished Pantheon. Okay, no problem. Alright, hit the lieutenant first. So, City of Heroes politics. City of Heroes politics. What has happened? So, as you folks will remember, when this channel first began, when I was first recording, I recorded Silver Phoenix and Liberty Lass, both of whom are characters on the Homecoming servers, on Everlasting, in fact, which was the unofficial roleplay server of the Homecoming group. They were among the first servers to be put up, maybe the actual first servers to be put up after the Bree server was taken down. And I played there for a long time. And then somewhere around a year after those servers went up, they went up in 2019 around the end of April. Somewhere around a year later, in March of 2020, I believe it officially started to go into effect on March 8th, but was announced several days earlier. And I'm going to go back now because we have a bunch of hallways here to clean out, so we're not going to take the teleporter yet. They announced on Homecoming around March 5th or something that as of March 8th, they were banning the recording and posting of video taken on their servers. This kind of Let's Play was forbidden to me. Now, lots of people said, "Oh, do it anyway," but that's not what their terms of service said, and so I respected their wishes. And I initially said, "I guess I'm done recording." I made a post saying there was no video on it. It was a video with just a picture of my character in the background. And I said, well, I can't do this anymore. This is my fond farewell. And somebody made a post. I can't remember who, and I apologize. Maybe it was Kievar. I don't remember. But somebody made a post and said, "Hey, why don't you do one of the other servers like Rebirth?" And I hadn't thought of that, but I said, well, hey, that's a cool idea. And I got on Rebirth and I found out, like, hey, it's a really old school server. They aren't using all the modifications that Homecoming is using. And I think this is a much better way to play the game vanilla, because it's a lot closer to the way the game was when it was mothballed. It doesn't have all of Leandro's changes. And so I said, okay, this is cool. I can play the game that way, and people will, sort of come to see, and we have ruptures to close and mages to rescue in addition to defeating all. People can see how it played, in issue 23 or 4, instead of how it plays now on a Leandro-based server. And as an added bonus, oh, I've been terrorized. That's not good. As an added bonus, I thought maybe I could do my part just a little bit to promote a non-Homecoming server, to promote Rebirth, which is a pretty low population server. Of course, I don't know how much I can promote it with, like 115 subscribers, only maybe a half a dozen of whom watch any individual video. But hey, if I could even get 5 more people on the Rebirth server, I've done something. And give them a little bit of a boost, since these guys allow any recording we want. Now, if you remember right, it was claimed at the time when Homecoming banned the recording and posting of videos from their servers. Their claim was that they were doing this because they are in negotiations with NCSoft, the company that technically owns City of Heroes, right? And that they didn't want to do anything to jeopardize their negotiations with NCSoft, and that consequently they wanted to make sure we weren't doing anything like recording and posting video of copyrighted materials. The irony of this is so rich, it is like eating the most delicious chocolate mousse you ever had. That these guys who are running the illegal servers, right, don't want to antagonize NCSoft by having people post illegal video of the illegal servers, right? Like, what? If they're going to be mad at anybody, they're going to be mad at the people running the servers, not at the people posting the video of the people running the servers. It's so hilarious that it's not even funny. And the idea that these guys still think and still represent to us the idea that they somehow might be able to actually get official endorsement to run these servers from NCSoft. It is never going to happen. NCSoft cannot do it. They literally can't. Like, they literally cannot. Because these servers are built on code that was stolen from them. It was taken out of their server. It was taken out of their servers by a disgruntled employee and released to somebody who had nothing to do with the company, which would mean that if NCSoft ever endorsed these servers, they would be endorsing the theft of code from them. They never will do it. Now, it's likely that they're not going to try to do anything about these servers because they're too small. They have maybe, 20, 30,000 accounts. NCSoft doesn't care, right? They have millions of accounts. It's so small time and such a pittance. It's not worth their time to fight about it, and it'll make horrible PR for them if they do. So they've chosen to just ignore it for now. And what they probably know, that the people who are running the Homecoming servers don't seem to know, is that this game was mothballed because it wasn't viable, because not enough people were playing it. They must know, and anybody reasonable's got to know, and this is, by the way, why I'm making these recordings in the first place, that at some point, what do we got here? Lieutenant, okay. At some point, it is going to become not worth it for the Homecoming people to run this game. One by one, they're going to merge and cut down the servers. It's going to happen. Guys, it happens to every MMO. Even the ones that have professionals and real financing behind them. They all go eventually because people lose interest. The code base is old. The gameplay is old. Everybody got into this game. They had 40 or 50,000 people make accounts. Like when it first came back on Homecoming, they had, I don't know, 15, 20,000 concurrent users. What are they down to now? Like 5,000 concurrent users? And if you look at the active accounts, I bet they're down to 15,000 active accounts instead of 40. Still sounds like a lot. It's still not zero. And it's way more than Rebirth has. But at some point, they're going to be the size of Rebirth. You're just going to have the 300 or 400 people who still want to play this old, arthritic game that's been around for almost 20 years now. People like me, people who like nostalgia, who like things the old way, and so on. Yeah, but there aren't going to be a lot of us, and many of us have now gotten it out of our system. In fact, I saw this announcement on my former guild's non-game related now, like sort of multi-platform, whatever you want to call it, server, because we no longer are just a COH guild. And the admin who posted it said, I know most of us don't play COH anymore, but here's an announcement. They're going to let you start streaming video and posting video again. Right? So even this guild of hardcore City of Heroes lovers, most of them don't play anymore. I'm one of the only ones who still does. I mentioned this an episode or two ago. And so, my guess is NCSoft has left it alone because they know that if they leave it alone, it's going to die. Because it already died once. And why am I making videos of it? In part, so that not if, but when these servers are gone. Because eventually they all will be. Rest assured they will be. They're not going to be going forever. Once all of these servers are gone, I can still go back and watch the videos. And by the way, you could say, well, what if YouTube takes them down? It doesn't matter. I won't have them all, but I've got enough stored on my hard drive of Silver Phoenix, Liberty Lass, and Tiger Strike that I can go back and relive enough of these videos whenever I'm in the mood for some City of Heroes forever. Right? I will make sure to keep, if necessary, converting the video format. I will make sure to keep moving them from hard drive to hard drive as I get new computers, from medium to medium, as the medium changes from, flash drives to molecules in our elbow, as one of my old colleagues used to say was going to eventually happen. One way or another, I'm going to find a way to keep having access to the videos that I've already recorded, so it can never be taken away from me again, forever, right? Because I have the video, and I may not be able to play it, but I'll be able to watch it, right? And so, but that's one of the reasons I'm making the videos, because I've known since it came back, it won't be back forever. That's what NCSoft knows, and they know they can just wait them out, and eventually all of these servers will be gone. They don't have to do anything, and they certainly don't need to negotiate with these people and give them the rights to code that was literally stolen right from their offices and given to somebody, right? They're never going to endorse that code. So it was just absolute fool's errand for Homecoming to even say it, to think it. It's not going to happen. Mark my words, it's not. Um, and anyway, so the reason they gave was that they didn't want to antagonize NCSoft. But I'm on a private Discord of people who post gameplay video of City of Heroes. Most of them, I don't think any of them do Homecoming, right? And they were talking about this, and the one guy said that he knows someone, I guess, who's inside at Homecoming, the Homecoming group, or was, and maybe knowing them, is on the outs with them or whatever. And what he said was, I guess they were in some kind of mild talks with NCSoft that haven't gone anywhere, but they said NCSoft never made the request to stop shooting video. That came straight from the people at Homecoming. So now the question is, why? Did they really think that this is going to give them, a chance with NCSoft, or do they have some other motive? Who knows? But they've now said, yeah, you can do gameplay video from Homecoming again. It's allowed. And that, like I said, this was posted to Homecoming's Discord, and my guild mates, one of my guild mates posted it to our guild Discord, and the guy who runs the Discord of the private, where's this thing? Guy who runs the Discord of the for the people who do these streams. Here it is. He mentioned it as well, and of course it's on the Homecoming Discord. And several of us on the private Discord that is for the streamers and the YouTubers of City of Heroes, several of them were like, screw that, I'm not going to record on their servers anymore. And I said the same thing. I'm not doing it, right? I don't wish them any ill will, but I'm not going to do anything to help them or promote their servers, especially after they were like, you guys can all talk to the hand a year ago. So that's the scuttlebutt. Homecoming now allows recording. You will not see any more recording here on their servers, however. I am strictly sticking with Rebirth. If I did another server, it would be one of the other non-Homecoming servers. I'd have to do some investigation before recording on any other servers, but I'm not going to be recording much more City of Heroes just to the end of this character's leveling, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But I thought you guys would like to hear that scuttlebutt, since we've been talking about all other role-playing games, and now we can talk about City of Heroes politics. So if you are on the Homecoming servers and you've wanted to record your gameplay and you've been withholding because you knew they didn't want it, well, they're now allowing it as long as you don't charge anything for it. It can't be behind a paywall. So I guess that means you can't do something like post full videos on your Patreon and then post clips to YouTube. I guess that would violate their TOS. Again, it's not clear really why, except that they're trying to stay on NCSoft's good side, but since we know that NCSoft never asked them to do that, again, it's not clear why. And I don't know if it's just some misguided belief that they're actually going to somehow get permission to use this illegally gotten code, or if they have some other motive behind it. And I don't know what that motive would be. If anybody has any speculation, feel free to post as to what their motive might be. Or maybe we already know by the time I post this, because it'll have been a couple weeks. Time travel, right? Okay, so he says, good work, Quintessence Last. If this Orin Bagan ritual works, we'll have our scientists back as good as new. Next mission is, according to those Circle of Thorns mages that you rescued, we need to get our hands on the Tome of Persephone before we can perform the ritual. Of course we do. The only problem is the Tome of Persephone was destroyed a long time ago. Speaking of time travel, back when Nero was the Emperor of Rome, I've located a dimension that has an existing copy. Unfortunately, it's full of circle mages, and they aren't nearly as friendly as the last one. Well, you know what? We're going to freaking do this one at +3 and see how it goes. What do you say, guys? I've got lots of accuracy inspirations. Let's just go do it. I think this is going to be a lot of behemoths, but we'll see. And it should be like, what is it, Airthorn mages or Firethorn? I can't remember what we're on at this point. Behemoth Overlords are not bad because they have like fire and resistance rather than and healing rather than dodge. It's really the Behemoth Masters that are the Lieutenant Behemoths that aren't the Overlords, that look like the regular Behemoths but are Lieutenants. Those guys are horrible because they turn on the invincibility and they get a massive buff, and all of a sudden they're at plus 50 defense and they're impossible to hit. But hopefully we can kind of ignore that. Hopefully we won't have too many of them. You see, he just turned it on. But we do have accuracy inspirations. They'll help a little bit, right? Plus 18%. That'll negate some of it. So we need to recover the tome. We don't have to defeat everybody in here. And so we're just looking for the tome. Yeah, what's interesting is there's a lot of speculation on why the Homecoming guys have changed their tune. And the one person said they were stupid, he said, because when they banned the streaming, they banned their ability, and we're Ice Thorn. Ooh, okay, cool. They banned their ability to get new players. And so he pointed out, and I think I've mentioned this too, that little by little, bit by bit, their player base has started dwindling. And so he said, yeah, now he thinks what's happening is they're starting to get a little desperate because they're seeing their player base dwindling, and he claims some of the other servers' player bases have gone up a little bit because of these videos. Some of them obviously have much bigger streams than I do. This channel is very small, and so nobody cares what I do. But I guess one of the things they were talking about is there's somebody, I can't remember his name now, who I guess is a pretty big City of Heroes streamer. And apparently, the Homecoming guys, and this is some of the gossip now, I'm going to spread the damn gossip, let's do it. It's about City of Heroes, so why not? Supposedly, the Homecoming guys approached him, and I don't know because he's going to be doing some sort of a live chat, I think tonight or tomorrow night, that I'm not going to be watching because I don't even know where his channel is. And I'm too busy playing the game to like watch other people play it. But anyway, apparently he's going to have some sort of a live chat where he's going to talk about this, so maybe I'm wrong. But the speculation that I read and the rumor that I read was that what had happened is the Homecoming guys actually went to him and said, we will lift the restriction for you. If you'll like exclusively stream Homecoming, we'll let you stream on our servers. We'll let you record and post and all that. And I guess they were trying to get his fan base. And supposedly he begged off and said no thank you. And then there was some speculation as to whether he might do it anyway, but not as an exclusive thing, so that he could still stream on other servers. So I don't know exactly what happened with that, but because of that, one of the guys on the Discord that I'm a member of, and I don't know if this other streamer is a member of it, he said he thinks they're getting desperate, right? Why else would they have gone to, like, I guess the biggest City of Heroes Twitch streamer or whoever and say, please be exclusive with us, if they weren't starting to maybe feel a little bit of the pinch? And I think that may be right. I don't really know. I haven't really been keeping a lot of tabs on the Homecoming servers. I'm a member of their Discord. I don't know why. Just to kind of get their announcements, but I don't pay a lot of attention to them. Because I play on this server, right? I play on Rebirth. So, right? I mean, the Homecoming folks made it very clear in the like last year, they made it very clear that they weren't interested in having me play games record games on their server and post them. So I have respected their wishes. They don't, was that old George Costanza's father did this quote, Frank Costanza, right? When he was complaining about the fact that he could never be president because he wasn't born in the United States, and he says that's why I've never been interested in politics. And then in his sort of Frank Costanza way, he shouted, "They don't want me, I don't want them." Right? So, without being Frank Costanza, they made it very clear they don't want me last March, so I don't want them. And what do I need them for? I've been having a lot of fun on Rebirth, and I've recorded now 3 full seasons, 3 full sort of series, actually, not seasons, 3 full series of a stalker, a mastermind, and a brute. Had a blast doing it. I've got several people who enjoy watching the channel, and I've got all these wonderful gameplay videos for when all of these servers, including the Rebirth ones, go belly up. So I'm happy, right? I've fulfilled my goals and my plans. And it's probably to most people it doesn't sound like a lot. I've got 100 subscribers, 110, something like 20, whatever. That's nothing, right? It's peanuts, right? I watch I watched some YouTubes by this one person, and she's got like 850,000 subscribers, and individual videos of hers are 3, 4, 500,000 views, right? And I've got 100 and whatever 20 or something subscribers, 140, I don't know, however many, doesn't matter. You can see how much I care because I don't even know. And each of my videos gets like a dozen views. That's okay. I'm not in it for like the many views. I'm doing this for fun, and I don't get fun from the number of views I get. But yeah, I'm a small-time person who's just doing this for fun, and the fact that 100 and whatever, 20 or 30 or 40, however many people actually liked watching some of my videos enough to hit the subscribe button, even if they don't come back and watch that much more afterwards, is just mind-boggling to me, because I never expected it to even be that high. I thought it would be cool if I got 15 or 20 subscribers. That's the kind of the level I'm working on. It's sort of like when I made the Liberty Last comic, like the Liberty Last webcomic that I made several years ago. And at one point I had about 150 subscribers to that, which is much bigger relatively on Comic Fury, because even the really big comics only have like maybe 500 or 600, 700, right? So with 150, I was one of the top, I don't know, 20 or 30 at the time comics there. I was floored that many people wanted to read a comic that I wrote. I'm not a bad writer, but the art was just computer generated, and even for computer generated, it wasn't that great. And I was really, to be honest, quite surprised that many. I was hoping maybe I'd get like 10 or 15 followers, maybe to have 10 other people read my comic and like it would have been pretty cool. And I had like 100 and something, 100, I don't know, 150, something like that. So, like, I'm actually really pleased when I find out that like 10 people watched this video and 2 or 3 people liked it. That's cool. I mean, I'm really not here to get like 100,000 subscribers. Like that never occurred to me that could happen. Literally, it never occurred to me that 150 people would subscribe. It really never did. I just thought maybe a few people might like to watch it. Mostly, I'm just using YouTube for. I'm gonna say it, and hopefully it doesn't get me banned, but from YouTube. But I'm just using YouTube for lots of free storage, because I can put these giant multi-gig videos on their server, and it just stays there, and I don't have to worry about like a hard drive crash or whatever. As long as YouTube's around, which it won't be forever, but as long as it's around, and as long as they don't decide that I'm somehow violating their TOS, right, their terms of service, these videos will be around for a long time, and I can come back and watch them whenever I want. In fact, I have been. I've been going back. I rewatched all of the parts of all of the Nightmare Last videos over the last couple weeks. I've been doing a lot of grading of my students because it's the end of the semester, and grading can be mind-numbing, especially in my class of 60 students, 15 or 20 of whom have tried to find the shortest, cuttest way to the quickest, easiest, least quality way to do their little short projects. Many of them plagiarize, and it's just so painful to read that stuff that what I was doing was like I'll read a little bit and then watch an old video of mine, you know. And what I've been doing, I have a spreadsheet, and I should do this as I go, but I never do. So I was going back and rewatching those old videos and just in my spreadsheet writing down what I was talking about in each video and what level I was and where I gained levels and stuff and which story arcs I was doing, so that in the future, if I feel like I want to go back and watch a particular story arc or go back and watch my rant about character backgrounds or something, I can do that and I can go right to the video I want instead of having to poke around and find it. So I don't necessarily watch I don't watch every minute of every video. I watch enough so that I can see, okay, this is just generic missions and, you know, nothing more. Or, oh, this is a really cool rant about X. This is that really cool rant I did about, I don't know, why you should do what go on the adventure that your GM put in front of you. Or this is my really cool rant on, you know, how the Homecoming servers came to be, or this is my really cool rant about Statesman and his auction house, or whatever. And I have that for my other characters. I did it for Tiger Strike and Silver Phoenix a long time ago, and for Liberty Lass, but I haven't done it for, I hadn't done it for Nightmare Lass. So what I was doing was, this is an old trick I learned. I wish my students would learn it. I try to tell them this, but I'm just so far removed now. I feel like such an old person, but I'm so far removed from what young people like to do with their free time that I think that things that I'm telling them I do with my free time, which one of which is not video games, I'm not telling them that. They just don't need to know that about me. But I think the things that I'm doing with my free time, like telling them about, like watching movies or reading books, I don't know if they even relate to or do anymore. Certainly not reading books, but this is an old trick I learned when I was a kid in high school, and I did it a lot in college, and it really helped me. Is I don't want to do all the studying and the homework, but it has to be done. And what I really want to do is say read this novel, or in this case, watch Nightmare Lass videos. And so what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to reward myself. And you have to be careful, right? I can't say I have 60 student papers to grade. Each time I grade a paper, I reward myself by watching a 30-minute video, because that's going to make grading the papers take too long. But what I could do is say every time I grade 15 papers, I can stop and watch a video. And so grading all that stuff, I was doing like, I had a 16 student class where I said every 4, right? Because that's a quarter of the class. And there's a boss. Cool. And so I was doing that with them. Their papers are much longer, right? They were these really long papers. It'd take me like 45 minutes to grade each one. So what I was doing was like, all right, so what I would do is by the time I was done grading 4 of them, from morning time, it was already practically lunch. So all right, I'll let myself watch this video, then I'll go have lunch, then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to do another 4, and then I can reward myself with another video, and then do another 4, and now the day is over, and I reward myself by playing City of Heroes, right, for a half an hour. And so that's like this trick I learned to get me to get my work done. There's also a novel I'm reading. I'm a big fan of Victoria Thompson's Gaslight Mysteries, and the newest one just came out. And I always reread the last couple before the new one. And so I was allowing myself, for every like 3 or 4 student papers I read, I could read a chapter of her, one of her novels, which usually takes me like 20 minutes. And so I've been going back and watching Nightmare Lass videos, cataloging them, and that's been giving me a chance to do that as part of my self-discipline practice to get myself to do all my work. And all my work is done, actually, guys. I'm off tonight and tomorrow. My finals end at 5 p.m. tomorrow. They're all being done automatically. Online, I'm going to have to check online, and if somebody has a problem, I'll try to fix it. But I'm done. Like, until 5 p.m., when all of their stuff is submitted, I can't really grade anything. So I've got tomorrow off, which means I'll be playing some City of Heroes while I'm waiting. And then it's the weekend, and I don't grade on weekends. I've got like housework to do and everything. My one of my bathroom drains is partially clogged, so I got to snake that and do some other work. Monday morning, I'll start grading all of the Friday stuff, and I have a Monday exam, and then Tuesday I'll grade theirs, and then I submit my grades on Wednesday, and I'm done for the summer. So I'm pretty psyched about that. But yeah, I've been going back and rewatching my old videos, and I enjoy doing that. And I've got them all cataloged now. So when these servers go down, and they no doubt will at some point, I can go back and watch these videos as long as YouTube doesn't take them down. And if YouTube takes them down, I'll watch the ones that are on my hard drive. It won't be as many because I don't have an infinitely large hard drive the way Google kind of does. But I have enough. I mean, I have like 50 or so Silver Phoenix, 10 or 12 Liberty Lass, and about 20 Tiger Strike. There's like 100 of them, which is 50 or 60 hours of watching, which would take me weeks to do. And by the time I'm done watching them all, I will have scratched, to the degree possible, my COH itch. So anyway, all right, let's talk to Unai Kamen, who says, "Great work. The tome is the last thing we need to perform the spell." But we won't be doing that this episode, I don't think, because we've been here for a while. We're 36 minutes in, so I think we're going to stop here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gossip about the City of Heroes politics. I certainly enjoyed gossiping a little bit. If I find out anything more, I will mention it here. We have some D&D or like role-playing game theory. I have a couple things that I've jotted down that have been going on the forums that I'd like to talk about, but this was City of Heroes stuff, so I wanted to make sure I got that out as soon as possible. And I'm still a little behind posting videos. I'm not as far behind it. I used to be like a month behind. I'm now only about 10 days behind. So today's May 13th. Probably around the 25th is when this will be posted, give or take. I'm not really 100% sure. I think something like that, between 25th and the 30th. So some of this may have been resolved by the time it's posted, but I thought you'd enjoy listening to me rant about it. And until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server.